BWOne here from BWOne, and in this video I want to talk about Microsoft and how they finally need to make a Surface phone. Seriously, this is the best time to do it, especially with Windows 10 coming out. I'm going to talk to you some of my reasons and what I kind of think the Surface phone should be all about, or maybe even Surface phones. So basically, Microsoft really needs to come out with a Surface phone because we all know right now, Windows Phone, while it's a decent operating system, and I particularly like it myself, it isn't popular with everybody. It's definitely lacking on the high-end side in terms of popularity. On the sort of mid-range entry level, they've done a really good job in that aspect, especially overseas, but they've never been able to really hit the high-end level and really hit it hard. We've had devices like the Lumia Icon, which is a great device, the Lumia 1020, one of the best mobile cameras on a smartphone today, but we're still not seeing that full huge adoption, especially on the high-end level and the premium level with the Windows Phone, especially here in the United States. I think that has a couple things to do with that. I think one of them has to do with sort of the Nokia branding, especially here, how it reflects here in the United States. Well, I think Nokia makes some great products. I remember writing an article right as soon as Microsoft sort of announced, or rather Nokia announced that they were going to use Windows Phone as their main operating system, switching over from Symbian, and never really went anywhere with MeGo really with that. I really thought that it was going to be a tough road for them ahead to really shake the sort of image that they had of being the entry-level and cheap smartphone, kind of the smartphone you got free and your first smartphone that you played Snake on, basically. And that was what Nokia's sort of image was here in the United States. It was one of my first phones, you know. You can't ever break those phones. But they basically, when you start a phone, it was going to be hard for them to shake that. They never really shook it, even with going with the Lumia branding, they never really shook that. And now you're kind of seeing where it is now. Well, I think Microsoft should definitely keep the Lumia branding. I think for the low-end entry-level smartphones that they're doing now, Lumia is a great line for that. I really think they need to try to reinvigorate and pretty much reintroduce Windows Phone to the masses again, especially Windows 10 coming out, and go on the premium and the high-level market with that. Now, what would I think of the specs of the phones? Well, basically, I think there should be essentially two phones coming from Microsoft. There should be sort of a Surface regular and a Surface XL, I would say here. So the Surface Phone and the Surface Phone XL, if you want to call it those names here. And why I'm pretty much using these two devices of reference here. So I really think that pretty much your standard Surface Phone should be very similar in screen size to the LG G4, which should have about a 5.5-inch display. They should definitely look at doing a Quad HD display because you want to keep this kind of future-proof. So going with a higher resolution display kind of makes sense. It's really going to look good, especially with Windows 10 on it. And especially at that screen size, you really want to be able to use as much screen real estate as possible, especially with Windows Phone. Really, the more you have, and especially the way Windows 10 is sort of working out, it's definitely be a good idea to have larger screen size, and having a smaller would just kind of hinder the experience there. I think in terms of processing and raw power, I think you're looking at the Surface Phone, the standard one here, probably roughly around a quad-core processor, which should be good enough for them. If they want to go octa-core, they can do that, but I think quad-core would be fine, something really efficient and good on battery life. At least 3 gigabytes of RAM is definitely something key. Definitely need to have the multitasking features. If you can do something like split screen or something like that, should definitely be included in here. Definitely should try to add expanded storage if they can. I think at 32, 64, 128 gigabyte option should be pretty good in terms of specs for these. I think that would be a pretty good idea to have those. And obviously a kick-ass camera. Take that Lumia technology, the pure lens technology, the pure view technology rather, throw it inside of here, definitely get kick-ass camera inside of here, somewhere around 16 megapixels, maybe 20 megapixels or better, but definitely get that awesome camera, because one of the things that Nokia does have, they do have the best cameras on a mobile smartphone, hands down. So definitely getting that here from the Lumia branding into the Surface Phone branding would be a very, very good idea. Now, I also think they should make an XL version with up to about a 6-inch display, because I think there's people that still love phablets. I love phablets, of course. It's definitely a key market. This is where it's going to be really important for them to have that split screen app capability, which they're pretty much working on with, and they definitely need to have it inside of here with this. This is going to be a multimedia powerhouse, so I really think this should come on the XL side with a octa-core processor at minimum. roughly around 3 to 4 gigabytes of RAM. I also think it should have, actually think this should start off at about 64 gigabytes of storage. I know I'm dreaming here, but 64 gigs of storage up to 128. It's going to be a higher price device anyway, so I think having the higher storage is just kind of a good idea. If you can expand the storage, that'd be good as well too, but I think starting out with the maximum, a really high amount of storage is really important for the XL model, because I think a lot of people will be doing a lot of multimedia. Sort of, this is going to be sort of your micro tablet phone sort of hybrid, similar to I remember the Dell Venue series. I think they had an 8, a little bit smaller than that, but kind of that idea in terms with it, and just the same great sort of obviously Windows 10 experience on that on the size here. As far as material, they should try to either use very similar polycarbonate that Nokia used in their phones. You might want to try to look at using metal, glass sort of mix here. I'm not sure if you want to particularly do that and copy some of the other vendors out there, but if you can get sort of a metal, plastic, or a nice polycarbonate mix with it, it'd be really good in terms of sort of build quality here. Camera here on the XL, I think should be the same as this one. Same camera, maybe, you know, one has OIS, one doesn't. I don't think that's really going to matter. I think they both come with that, so they should both have still great camera quality on it. 4K cameras as well too. Definitely get 4K, full 4K with full bit rate on it as well too. I think it's definitely going to be necessary, and I think you'll have some really good winning phones here. Also on the displays, they should try to make the bezels as thin as possible. I think that'd be really key for them to do that, and be really a good idea to really give that nice rich experience, especially with thin bezels. Make the phone look like it's almost all just screen. I think it'd be really cool, and it will set itself apart. That's what I think a Surface phone should really be. I really think it's key for Microsoft to do this, because right now they don't really have that 1-2 combination like some of the competitors have. So you look at something like Google. Google does have a Chromebook, and they do have the Nexus line, and they do have the Nexus tablet as well too. So you have a Nexus phone, Nexus tablet, and you can get a Chromebook. So you can get all into their ecosystem and buy their core devices kind of all together. And they're all reference devices for other manufacturers to make competing devices. Same thing with Apple. Well, Apple really can't make competitive Apple devices because everything's kind of closed in their ecosystem. So, but you still have an iPhone, and you have 2 different sizes of an iPhone finally now with the 6 and the 6S, 6 and 6 Plus. We're going to get the S versions later, but those, and then you also have the MacBook Pro, and you do have the iPads as well too. So you have this multitude of ecosystem to really engulf yourself in. Within that, Microsoft has really a unique chance to really get all this done within 2 devices, because you have the Surface line, which is your full computer, and it's also a tablet, which is pretty key. And then you get the Surface phone, which pretty much handles all your mobile and phone needs as well too. So they'll be a little bit more efficient in that. I really think this is something they really need to come out with, and it's also going to be a great reference device to entice other manufacturers to make Windows Phone or Windows Phone 10 devices coming out in the future, and kind of what they should put with it. But share your thoughts below. Let me know what you think. Do you think they need to come out with a Surface phone? Should it be 1? Should it be 2? Like I think a Surface phone and a Surface Phone XL, I think it'd be a really good idea. Do you think the Surface branding is a smart name to use? I think so, because Surface is a good brand for them right now and has worked out really well for them, and it's profitable. I think it's a good idea to do that. Basically, share your thoughts below. Let me know what you guys think. So this is Bowman here from BWOne, and always remember to live your tech world in high definition. Thanks for watching.